from Cascada Caferretero in Popayan, Colombia. With these videos, I'm doing what I can for the evolution of human consciousness, and I would appreciate your help to disseminate this important information. Please subscribe and receive the latest videos. Thank you. 2020 is a terrible year for the U.S. economy. Millions of people have already lost their jobs, and the U.S. economy will continue to shrink no matter what the authorities are saying. The economy is collapsing at a rate never seen before. This is becoming the most severe economic collapse we have ever seen in the last 100 years. The official media is repeating that the unemployment rate is just under 50%, but the actual unemployment rate is 27.5% and rising. Further, more and more people are expected to lose their jobs in the coming weeks. Worse still, people only want to hear the repeated lie that the economy will have a V-shaped recovery the minute things start opening up. People want to believe this lie because it makes them feel good. They choose to stay in the illusion. The reality is that the recovery will be more of an L shape, which means that it will not recover for a very long time. This economic collapse is worse than the Great Depression, where the unemployment rate was hovering at around the 20% level. When we compare this with the 2008 economic meltdown, where the unemployment rate was about 10%, everyone can tell that we are in a horrific situation. With the COVID-19 outbreak, the biggest economic bubble in history had popped, and what we are experiencing now is a total collapse and degradation of our society. The whole world is involved, and there is no solution from the governments. The only solution, and there is only one solution, it is that we have to remember who we are and then actively work on connecting with our soul while dissolving our ego. The soul is the only one that can guide us towards the solution. Even when the economy reopens, we will see a very slow recovery in the labor market and the entire economy at large. Certainly, the recovery will not be V-shaped or not even U-shaped. It will be more L-shaped, which means very slow recovery for years. Many businesses will go bankrupt, especially the small and medium-sized businesses. Of course, most people do not realize that bankrupting small to medium-sized businesses and eliminating the middle class altogether is the plan of the cabal. They have been preparing and planning for this event for years. In all fields, all authorities betray us all at all times. In my video, The Debt Crisis, The End of the Monetary System, I talk about Mike Maloney and his Hidden Secrets of Money video series. I also tell our Costa Rica real estate story. I feel it is so important that I will mention it here as well. For many people, reality will start setting in when real estate prices start plummeting all over the world. I knew that this day will come. I've been very wrong assuming that the end of the monetary system would happen with the Great Recession of 2008. I've been wrong on the timing, very wrong, and that has fueled the argument for everyone in my family and friends that I'm wrong about everything. I'm not at all happy about being right. Unfortunately, I am right, and the collapse is here now 12 years later. We were able to sell our property in Costa Rica after 18 months of trying to sell, and we sold at a reduced price of 50% of the investment. We accepted this reduced amount and an additional $20,000 reduction after living a last-minute landslide. For 12 years, we had no problems with the property, and 2 weeks before closing the sale, I lived through this landslide. One day I'm walking behind the house and suddenly I hear a noise, and as I turned around, the steep slope behind the house start sliding down onto the house. I watched this event in shock, and then I had to deal with all the consequences. Lowering the price further down by $20,000 had to be done. I knew it was time to move on to new experiences. My ego mind was throwing all kinds of arguments against letting go of this amazing property at such a low price, but I knew that letting go was a very important step in my evolution of consciousness. The individual who purchased this amazing property at about 40% of its value at the time believed he would make a few adjustments and flip part of the property at a great profit. 4 years later, he never sold the property. Now I believe he will never sell. There are no buyers. I cannot begin to imagine the state of mind he is in with this latest development. Our neighbor was trying to sell his property for almost 10 years, but clearly asking a price which was unrealistic. He did not sell, and now, well, I believe he will never sell. I'm so grateful because it is obvious to me now that I was able to connect and hear the advice from my soul of letting go. It is extremely important not to hold on to our old perceptions and beliefs. We must adapt, and ASAP. Every single life will change drastically. Those that are malleable and in action will move through this chaos smoothly and with little suffering. All others will suffer greatly and die prematurely. The corona pandemic is a psychological force that is being used to enslave humanity completely at every possible level through technocracy. Will you choose not to participate or simply acquiesce to total slavery? Please hit the like button, share this information, and join us in this adventure. I wish to be part of creating self-sustainable small communities. I was blessed with time and created this new life outside of the totalitarian control system. I do not have answers for you and what you need to do, but I wish to share in whatever way I can. If you have any suggestions, please contact me. My contact information is below. Assistance with farmland purchases in Colombia and Ecuador. Agricultural land is a wise investment and still very economical in these countries. Long-term stay at a Colombian farm, 120 USD per week, 420 USD per month. Spanish lessons. Truth Consciousness Workshop at Cascada Café Retiro in English, Spanish, and French. Dental treatment of high quality, up to 75% savings in Colombia, and migraine treatment with NTI dental appliance. Infinite love.